Good morning. It's me, Pearl, and this is Tuned In Tarot. And we are about to take a look at the balance between the divine masculine and divine feminine inside of self, understanding that whatever state we find this energy in, we can expect to see that reflected back to us in our interactions with others, in our external environment. And if we want to see those things change, we have to make changes inside of ourselves. So I have a sleeping puppy. You can see her. She's right there. I got her. She's here. I'm so excited. All right, we're about to do the release and rebuild spread since I will not be on YouTube tomorrow morning. So I'm just gonna take a day. I'm gonna take a day. But for today, we're going to release and rebuild. So yesterday we looked at the obstacles. That was a deep dive. It was almost 2 hours, and there was a lot there. So if you didn't see it, go ahead and check that out. And let's get started. We're going to release first with the divine feminine side of self. I don't know where to put anything. Okay. Let's see. So first, we're going to start with the general energy, just surrounding the situation. Where are we? How are we feeling? Etc. We're going to do head and heart at the same time. We're using the Fountain Tarot in the head space, and we're using the Star Spinner Tarot in the heart space. We're getting the Wheel of Fortune upright and the Eight of Swords in reverse in the heart space. So we have a divine feminine who is needing to release something regarding divine timing. So I definitely sense that she feels fortunate and that there's good things happening. And she doesn't want to protect herself from those good things. She wants to receive them. Good morning, sunshine. I am very good today. I have my new puppy sleeping peacefully on the floor beside me. She's doing pretty well so far. She's gone outside. She went on the puppy pad by the door all on her own. So that's good. And she can sit already. She is not good on the leash. She's just really doesn't get it yet. She just sits there and looks at me. So we're working on it, but it's only been one day. But really, it's so good. So I'm in a really good mood. This Wheel of Fortune card fits my mood. Things are good right now. And the Eight of Swords is here because I feel like for the first time, feminine is not preventing these good things, or she's seeing them, or she's not blind to them. She's also not blind to the timeline. She has a sense that the timeline for all of her desires is something that she just has to learn to respect and have less tension and anxiety around it. So that's just the general energy about where we're releasing today. The hidden assistance that's going to help her release is in the headspace, the Five of Cups upright, and in the heart space, the Nine of Wands upright. So this is beautiful. This is optimism, and the Seven of Wands. I keep calling this the Nine of Wands, but I did that yesterday. This is optimism and holding on, standing your ground. So holding on to her vision that she has for herself, that she's awaiting with this Wheel of Fortune, this divine timing, and being optimistic about it is going to be really helpful. And also, I think just standing her ground in terms of her own sense of accomplishment on this journey. Like, as long as she keeps coming back to the self and having a sense that she's able to fight for what she wants, she's able to stand up against any behaviors that she might have herself that are going to kind of cause her to have trouble releasing what she needs to release. And I think also just being optimistic about the masculine energy. Oh, the puppy I got is a white husky. Let me see. I'll try to... She's right there sleeping. She's so little. She's only 4 months old. She had her like crazy psycho moment, like because I was waiting. I was like, she's really chill. I'm surprised how chill she is. I was expecting, because adult huskies are nuts. So I was expecting like insanity, but she really was so chill. And then this morning when she woke up after I did her training session, she kind of did the husky like freak out. And then we went outside and she was fine. So she's really good. All right, let's look at what needs to be released. This is right. Yes. What past experience do I need to release? We have the King of Wands upright, and we have the Seven of Swords in reverse. Now, it's funny because I would say this was about Divine Masculine, but it's not. The past experience that Divine Feminine needs to release, I guess it is partly about Divine Masculine, but it's about her not knowing when Divine Masculine is going to take action. That's one element. The other element is when she doesn't know what's going on, she tends to get jealous or wrathful or angry, passionate, pissed off. So she needs to release this tendency to get angry when she doesn't see anything happening. She doesn't see any action. And it's not the masculine taking action that needs to be released. It's her reacting to not knowing when, right? Because we've got this is what needs to be the general energy surrounding the block. This is divine time. When she doesn't know when shit is going to happen, we're trying to get her to release the tendency to sabotage herself, okay? Or protect herself from getting hurt by the masculine. What can I do right now to soothe myself? We have the Fool in reverse and the Nine of Swords upright. So the Fool in reverse is going to come out again for Divine Masculine side. So we've already got some mirroring happening. It's coming over here in the heart space. For me, the Fool in reverse is about being very cautious. Not leaping before we're really ready to do it. And I think that if we're trying to soothe ourselves right now, the anxiety, the worries, these are all the thoughts that are keeping her awake at night. And it's funny because I actually did have kind of a restless night. I thought Puppy was going to be crying. She didn't. She's completely crate trained. They must have crate trained her already. So she was fine and she didn't keep me up at all. But I just kept waking up. I went to bed at 10:30 and I woke up at 11:30 and 12:45 and I don't know what time because I just didn't look at my phone and just tried, and it just happened over and over. I had an uneasy feeling throughout most of the night. And I mean, I just got a new puppy and that's a lot of responsibility and everything, but I don't know. I just had this uneasy sensation. So Divine Feminine might not be sleeping well. She might be having this kind of just an anxious feeling. And I think just embracing that the reason she feels so afraid is because this is about to happen. And that's why the Wheel of Fortune is just present here. So to soothe yourself, you really, you just need to relax. You just need to be like, okay, the reason I'm feeling worried, the reason I'm second guessing, the reason I'm, overthinking is because the moment is finally here. Yesterday when my bassist came to pick me up before we had to drive to a Petco to get the crate, and so that we could have the crate in the car because I didn't know what she was going to be like and I wanted her to be in a crate. And then I also wanted to get her a stuffed animal. I got her a pink elephant and we named it Elephant Gerald. It's really cute. Okay. So I go downstairs. I go to open the trunk to put some of the stuff that I need to take with me to get the dog. And my bassist, who's a Gemini, and I love him so much, had a huge cooler in the back of his car. And I was like, Andrew, we have to go get a large crate. And he's like, we're getting a puppy. And I was like, I told you I have to get a 50-pound dog-sized crate. It's going to take up your whole car. And then so we kind of were arguing about the cooler. He's like, it won't fit there. I'm like, do you know how big a 50-pound dog is? This dog is not 50 pounds, but she will be. So She could be bigger than that. So it's like it's like human size. Like I was like trying to explain to him. And I was like getting upset. Like I was like, and then he was like, well, I could drive home first and drop it off. And I'm like, no, we just need to go. We have to go. We have to pick her up. We have an appointment. We're scheduled. And I was like really anxious and like freaked out and kind of a bitch. Like I calmed down and I was like, I'm sorry. I'm just terrified. I'm terrified. I want this dog so much, but I'm really scared. Like vet appointments, and she's not going to be potty trained, and I have to train her, and I'm all by myself, and like and I prepared myself for the worst case scenario. Like I was like, she's going to be crazy. She's going to just piss and shit everywhere. She's going to be like biting everything. She's going to destroy everything. I mean, she's a husky. That's very possible. So I was like, oh my God, what am I doing? And I had that feeling the whole way there. So then we got there and I saw her and my heart melted. And we put her in the car and she's sweet. And the rest of the night, I still felt like, oh my God, this is really my dog. Like, what just happened? I just got a child for 18 years. My real child is 15. Like, what am I doing? Like, So just relax, Divine Feminine. The reason why you're feeling all this like tumult is because the time is here for you to receive everything you've been asking for. And you need to release the anger you feel at not seeing it yet, not knowing when it's going to be here. That part has to be released. Not knowing when masculine is going to come. This makes you feel very anxious, but you can soothe yourself by understanding that this is like right before this is going to happen. Okay. What can I expect to encounter as I make space for new energy? Oh, happy new moon, everybody. Now that it's past, it was a good one for me. Wow. Page of Wands, upright, and the Empress in reverse, because you can expect not to have to wait anymore. This thing that you're so excited about, that you're getting a new inspiration, a new jolt of energy, new excitement. You're not going to have to wait any longer to receive the abundance and prosperity that you've been growing this entire time. And remember, your hidden assistance is this optimism in the headspace and the ability to stand your ground and hold your vision in the heart space. So if you can just soothe yourself and just be like, it's okay. It's going to be good. You're going to have a beautiful white husky with ginger tipped ears named Queen Mother Bowie Rococo, Bowie for short. Okay. That's what's happening. So just let it happen. So she's making room for not having to wait anymore and getting to have this new exciting experience. What behaviors have gotten in my way? Rude. The Sun and the Lovers. How has this gotten in my way, you say? Well, the reason why I'm like needing to release this constant, like, when is he going to do it? When is he going to do it? When is he going to do it? Is because I've been putting all of my happiness in the experience of this relationship. And in this deck, there are multiple versions of the Lover's card. And we actually see the twins here. So, because it's the two sides of self, masculine, feminine side in one, right? One gender expression here, one person, everything inside, okay? So the behavior that's held divine feminine back is that she has put this childish, calling myself out, this childish idea about this relationship being her ultimate fulfillment, that is not helping her, because then she can only see happiness if it looks like this. Do you know how rare this is? This is extremely rare, but it's not rare to have companionship and love and amazing relationships with soulmates. It's very rare for twins to come together. So for Divine Feminine to believe that the only way she's going to be happy is for this one person that she thinks is her twin, it's holding her back. What can I do now to avoid this? The Seven of Wands in reverse and the Seven of Coins upright. Very interesting, seeing as our hidden assistance is standing our ground and holding our vision. We have to change our vision, okay? We have to allow that we planted a lot of seeds, right? Let's pretend we planted an orchard and we had 4 different types of apples. And we actually don't know because we got the seeds mixed up and we planted them, and then we're like, shit, I don't know if this is going to be Gala or Fiji or Red Delicious or what are those ones? Opals. I love those. The yellow with the red. Oh, those are so good. Okay. What the hell am I going to do now? Well, you're going to have to wait patiently for the harvest to figure out which trees are which so you can properly label the groves, right? And if you're holding tightly to this vision that row A is your opal apples you want so much, that's row A. I know it is. I know it is. I know it is. And you're just sitting there waiting for it, watching it to grow. It's going to be this one. It's going to be this one. Meanwhile, three rows down, the thing you think you want is growing over there. But you're not going to know it until you see the fruits come to bear. So don't hold on to the idea that the row you're standing in front of is the fruit you expect. Right? Forget what you think you need. You planted seeds and now you have to patiently wait to see whether it's going to be the twin or not. I'm not saying it's not going to be the twin. I'm just saying that this is holding you back by thinking the only way that you will be fulfilled or happy is being with this one person. So let that go. Don't hold on to that idea. That is holding you back. And be patient about which seeds you'll be able to harvest. And trust, have optimism that the vision you are holding, this general essence that you are holding, that is going to be honored. You just don't know which row it's in. Okay? Because let me ask you, if I told you, so everything you think and feel about your person right now that you think is your twin, if I told you, listen, you can have every single aspect that you think about this person. You can feel every single sensation you feel that you feel with this person, right down to the telepathy, because you are not limited to only your twin. For once you start to awaken to the journey, you just awaken your gifts and then you just have gifts. So you don't need to only have the twin, even to have that soul connection. You don't need to have the twin to have a past life connection and feel someone that's familiar to you. If you go on the pattern, my twin that I believe is my twin, I have 8 other people that I share a past life connection with in that same group. So I tell you, you can have everything that you want in your twin. Everything. You're going to feel exactly like you would feel with your twin. Exactly. Because they're going to meet you in every single place. You're going to be like this and this and this and this. And then I'm going to say, and I'll do you one better. They also have this, and the other thing, which your twin never had and never could have because of the situation they're in and where they're healing, etc. But this person is already there. And now you're elevating to that level. Would you be sad? If you have unconditional love for the person that you think is your ultimate happiness, and they're alive and they're living their life and they're doing well and they're thriving and happy and you have the potential to have that too, then why wouldn't you be able to have the same kind of fulfillment in any relationship? So what is growing within me or within this connection as I move on? Union, the Three of Cups, and the Ten of Pentacles in reverse, which means everything that you want, your whole material fulfillment, you're going to get it. But it's not going to look like what you thought. It's not going to look like what you thought, but you're going to have union, celebration, fun. It's going to be amazing. It's just not going to look like the thing that you have been holding on to so tightly that you can't have it. So if you can right now surrender yourself that something really big is coming to you, and the only thing that's keeping you from seeing it is that you keep trying to make it look like the way you think it's supposed to. Right? Like my person, our anniversary, our 13th anniversary of meeting each other in person is on Friday. So I am super attached to that day because it's so significant to me. Okay? I don't know what the significance is to my person, honestly. I have no idea because they don't communicate with me. So if I am so attached to the idea that union is going to come on Friday, the day that is important to me, and it doesn't happen, how will I feel? Awful, devastated, disappointed. I literally am not working tomorrow because I saved myself from having to have an experience of trying to do my work in case I get too attached to the outcome of tomorrow. Thankfully, I have a new dog, so that should keep me busy tomorrow if I'm feeling sad. But I really don't know that I will if nothing happens. I'm trying not to be attached to when, how, and with whom union happens. It's very difficult because I want my person so much. I want it to be like this. But I'm looking at this message right now, realizing that I'm still doing this. Still, my happiness seems to be from that union, not just from being me on my own with my new sleeping puppy behind me, who's respectfully decided to sleep during my reading. I love that. She's a Cancer also. Do you know, I went to a party the other night. I danced with 3 people, chatted, had so much fun, went to exchange information, and all 3 of them were Cancers. Are you fucking serious? What? I'm a Cancer magnet. I mean, all my friends are very sweet and nurturing, but they're also secretive as fuck, and they never want to go out. So, Divine Feminine, you really have something good coming down the pipeline. And if you can just open up to the fact that what you think is going to make you ultimately happy might not be what will make you ultimately happy, you'll be able to receive however this plays out. All right, let's go over now to the Emperor side, and we're going to rebuild. We're going to start with the general energy of what he is wanting to rebuild right now. I love this. We have the Mother of Cups in the head space and the Sun in the heart space, which is such a beautiful union to have. Right now, I think we have 2 relatively happy sides of self. The feminine side feels happiness that she's being very cautious with, and she is trying not to get too excited because she doesn't want to have a disappointment, right? But the thing that's helping her is being optimistic. So we have an optimistic feminine who is like, I know I'm going to get union. I'm going to get it. Like yesterday, I got my dog and then this fucking Lyft settlement they've been giving me the runaround for over a month. Finally, hopefully, they said they were going to wire it. So it should be wired today. If it's not, we're going to have a problem. We're going to have a real problem. But I actually feel that it is going to be wired today, which means the 3 months of income that I've been missing for the past 2 months will come to me, and I will then have a little bit more security going into the winter. Thank God. Except I have to pay people back from the time that I was in the studio and couldn't pay them from the check I was supposed to get. Love that for me. However, it's coming. It's coming. And if I can stop stressing about it coming and soothe myself, it'll be here. There's a lot of happiness. And my masculine's not here. But I was pretty happy yesterday, right? If I'm not seeking that fulfillment in the relationship, I can get the fulfillment instantly all around me by being present in this moment and being grateful. Okay, so the general energy for the masculine is wanting to rebuild this happiness and fulfillment with the divine feminine, who he is seeing as compassionate, kind, caring, loving, psychic, sensitive, able to navigate her emotions, emotional mastery. Like he just loves her so much. And he wants to now be able to restore this happiness between the two of them. His hidden assistance is something that's going to annoy feminine. It is the King of Swords upright and the Fool in reverse, right? Overthinking. It's the same energy pretty much. But the King of Swords, he doesn't feel like this. He does think a lot, but he doesn't feel like this. His thoughts do not make him feel like that. He has command over his thoughts. If he came out in reverse, we might be thinking he's, really not in command, but he's upright. So he's in command of his thoughts and his anxieties about the new beginning. And the fact that he has been cautious and moved very slowly, strategically, and with a plan, and he is coming truthfully and in his integrity and directly. This is the hidden assistance for rebuilding. The fact that he has cautiously and strategically moved forward into this union. He's patting himself on the back right now. Meanwhile, Divine Feminine is like, fuck you for taking so long, Divine Masculine. Okay, what can I do, or what past experience challenges me in the rebuilding process? Oh, you don't say. No communication in the 10 of Wands in reverse and the Knight of Wands. So we see the past experience that has really challenged him is that he has engaged in indirect love bombing type communication instead of unburdening with what was really going on. He was refusing to communicate and instead just doing like flirting and, like mine sends me music playlists and, makes vague allusions to me in posts so I feel insane. Love that for me. And doesn't communicate. Okay. So this past experience is making it very difficult for him to rebuild this spiritual, happy fulfillment bliss with feminine, because feminine is like, for the last year or however many years, it's been more than 1 year for me that I've been getting Instagram stuff. That's been going on since, I didn't know my masculine had an account until like 2017. I think he had it for 2 years. But then once I found out, it was like from 2017 until now. Not cute. And I am annoyed. So Divine Masculine definitely is challenged by this experience of having done that. Now, he had his reasons for them, which is why he's really hoping Divine Feminine is going to be compassionate and understanding. And he's lucky because I am. But still, it's challenging. You have to approach somebody and be like, so I fucked up. Sorry about it. Okay. What can I do right now to build my confidence? Oh my God. Y'all, I think I'm going to be really happy tomorrow. I'm just saying. 6 of Cups. Finally upright. And the Hierophant. Marry this person, okay? Just reunite and get married. You'll feel very confident. Not quite. First of all, what will build your confidence is that you have a long-standing, deep-rooted past life and present life connection. So, yes, I'm super annoyed at how you have decided to communicate with me for the past 4 years. However, I love you. So I'm going to accept whatever bullshit you're going to give me. And I'm going to be like, well, we both know that's bullshit, but that's okay. You can make up for it now by coming into sacred union. And the Hierophant is about learning our lessons, about basically surrendering to a higher power that you didn't know how to do it. And you have to have this faith that you did everything the way that it was supposed to be done. Even if you're afraid that you might have done something wrong, you just have to release that fear and just understand and have faith that the journey that brought you here was exactly how it was supposed to be. So there's not as much guilt and anxiety over the fact that you communicated indirectly or didn't communicate and acted in player energy or whatever it was for such a long time. But you can be confident that this is a deep, deep connection. It's sacred, it's holy, it's pure. And there's no earthly machinations that can destroy it. That's why our friends judge us for being fixated on the person who, when we talk about them, we usually tend to talk about things we don't want. So when we talk to our friends, we'll be like, you know, fuckface hasn't written to me, hasn't responded. I sent him a message, didn't say anything. And so your friends are like, wow, he's an asshole. And they're like, why do you still like him? What's wrong with you? And then you feel stupid. It's because of this. And not everyone understands that. Now, that doesn't mean that you're staying in an abusive relationship where somebody is hitting or hurting you. And frankly, the twin is never going to be like that. That's not. The twin operates out of love. They operate selfishly because they're learning how to love, but they're coming from a place of love. So there's not really going to be physical violence. There's not going to be terrible emotional abuse or anything like that. What it's going to look like more, it's going to be more like the type of abuse that's like ghosting, like empath narcissist paradigm. It's going to look like that. It's not going to be as bad as the true narcissistic personality disorder, but it'll be enough that your friends are like, wow, he's an asshole, and that you feel weird about it. But there is a deep connection here. It is sacred and it is pure. It is unconditional. And he just has to have faith in their connection. That will help build his confidence. All right, next placement. What possible future challenges could arise? The Hierophant in reverse and the King of Wands in reverse. Okay, there's a few different layers here. The first thing that I just heard was a jealous ex. So a jealous ex-spouse could be a potential problem. However, what do we know about that? If there's a third party that's manifesting as a jealous ex-spouse, then what do we have inside of ourselves? We have fears about betrayal. We might have jealousy about our current person, possessiveness, ego. And this could be about commitment issues. So the challenge that might arise for the masculine is he might be afraid to really take that final step into commitment, potentially because of a very bad experience that he had the first time. Okay, so it could be very challenging for him to really come into that legally binding contract. Now, if it's any consolation to my masculine, I get that completely. This resonates with me 100%, This is how I know it's my masculine energy, because my ex-husband is controlling and abusive still, even after I've been divorced, and still was able to control my finances and my access to my child. So I'm terrified of getting married. Although I definitely want to be married to my twin, the actual experience of marriage is frightening to me. So this makes sense to me, and we can take it slow, babe. Okay? Like I feel that. Like I get it. It's scary, especially if you experienced a terrible divorce, if you lost money, if you lost access to children, if you like, those things are very frightening. So it really does make sense that that could potentially challenge him. What past behaviors have destabilized me? The Wheel of Fortune. Can you believe the union that we have? I didn't even hold up at the King of Wands, 2 Hierophants, 2 King of Wands, 2 Fool cards, 2 Wheel of Fortunes, 2 Seven of Wands. Like, what the hell? There's so much union. This is resisting change, resisting transformation, not wanting to change, resisting the timeline, not flowing with time, or wanting to like make the situation work. And then we have the Ace of or the 3 of Wands upright, which is a card about time. It's about patience and drawing our inspiration from the divine, which gives us faith, because we can see the ships coming in based on our faith, which the Hierophant is here. So there's faith coming for this masculine. It's going to help him be confident. Losing faith is going to be a challenge for him. And this past behavior of having to wait for this wheel to turn so that you could grab on and go to this next place with the divine feminine, this has really destabilized him. Having to make the feminine wait, that's really destabilized him and made him feel like it's really hard to rebuild happiness with her. What past behaviors, or what can I do now to avoid this and stabilize? Daughter of Pentacles, which is a Page of Pentacles energy, and the Devil card in reverse. So this is very small steps, one step at a time, one spoonful at a time kind of an energy. And the Devil in reverse is releasing any, it could be if you had addictions that affected the timeline, karmic situations, codependencies, releasing any codependency. So divine masculine is a little bit, he's like, how do I give feminine this happiness? And he has to shift that into, how do I share my happiness with divine feminine, who will share her happiness with me, right? My happiness, I'm not bringing her happiness. Going to her makes me happy. She feels happy being with me. Both of us are our individual sources of happiness, but we don't provide the fountain, right? We just share the overflow. And this is a card with overflowing energy. It's a delicate balance, and there will be codependencies that will arise. But I mean, that's kind of just inevitable when you live in a home with people and codependency isn't the devil. There is codependency in the Devil card, but the Devil card isn't codependency. It's when it becomes toxic, when you can't feel happiness without the other person, right? Like this. Oh, I'm only happy if I have my masculine. Really? That's the only way you're happy? Well, what if he dies? Now you're not going to be happy forever? That happens to some people. Some people fade away when someone dies. They don't have any will to live anymore. But is that what your person would want? I know that if I died, I would definitely want my person to grieve for a minute. feel sad for a minute for me. My ego would require that. But after an appropriate period of mourning where you wore black every day and then you come out of it, I would want you to be happy and move on. I would want you to have like a shrine to me always. I'm not gonna lie. I'm an ego. I want a fucking shrine. Come on. But I would want you to be happy. I would want you to be fulfilled. I would want you to have other partners and have a family and not be without any of that. So the happiness couldn't be my physical presence, but simply my love itself existing at all, and you seeing love through me and me seeing love through you. Not being codependent. So taking small steps towards your happiness together. There could be something to do with children there as well. The daughter card. It could be there could be children from another marriage having to release codependent relationships with like mom, or even with the children if there's been toxicity developing there that's affecting this feeling of waiting for this time to pass. And then what future prospects do I have to look forward to once I rebuild and stabilize? Wow. The Star in reverse and the King of Pentacles. Now, when the Star is in reverse, especially if we're reading it in the future potential outcome, to me, it's your wish finally touching down to the ground. It's your wishes finally coming true. For the longest time, you stood out and looked up at the star, and it guided you in the direction you needed to go, and now you're there. And the King of Pentacles upright, who's grabbed this bull by the horns and is abundant, provider, protector. This masculine who had this negative experience potentially with a past long-term commitment, either with a partner or career. This person has this fear because they had been diminished by that experience, that they wouldn't be able to show up this way for the feminine energy. But they are very hopeful that they will. And I think they're starting to see the potential that they could be even more prosperous and abundant once they do move forward towards the feminine energy. Okay, let's look at the oracles. We'll go back over to feminine side, and we're going to look at what does she need to release in terms of sacred sexual union, and how does she rebuild once she's released? What card is this supposed to be? It is the Hermit. I'm trying to think if the Hermit is 9. 10 is the Wheel of Fortune. 8 is Strength. I think the Hermit is 9. Okay, it's just because this deck is different. So this is the sacred sexual energy that needs to be released. This is the crone energy, and it's the Hermit. So being alone, being isolated, and I think that Divine Feminine is like, I don't want to be alone and isolated. I want to be in sexual union, but I feel like there is a part of her that's actually really afraid of this experience. And I guess it's because there's the potential for the loss of the experience again, or for some in the collective, I know for me specifically, having come to terms with a sexual trauma and having to go revisit sacred sexual union after that, and not being certain if she's going to be able to feel good that way. Like, there's a fear I have, since I have not engaged in any kind of sexual interactions in 2 years, and I went through like my healing of a childhood sexual assault, I'm afraid of having sex now. Like I'm alone, but I'm like, I don't know if I'll always think, like I'm worried about having flashbacks. I'm like, will I think about it when it happens? Will, there's fear there. The emotions coming up. So this is something that Divine Feminine needs to release. And here's how she rebuilds it. The Ace of Cups, which is beautiful because it's about self-love. So for some, there might be a need to engage in some solo sexy times to start envisioning healthy connections. We saw yesterday coming up that there was this tendency sexually for the feminine to watch things that may not be fulfilling to her. So there might be a need here to really go deeply into a sacred sexual experience with self. So maybe practicing Kundalini, yoga, which is about working with sexual energy. There's a couple of like books, shamanic books. There's what's the name of it? I think it's in my bedroom. It's a Toltec, the Rainbow Serpent. I can't think of it. It's like sexual energy and the Rainbow Serpent, whatever. There's books that you could explore. I'm sure there's videos, but where you're exploring pure sexual energy, where it's kind of detached from like what we think of sex, as like very functionally like pornographic type of a thing, taking it from there to a more sacred place. Tantra, like tantric books, tantric practices, there's breathing techniques, making it much more about what it really is instead of the distortion that she learned growing up. Whew, there's a lot of anxiety there for me. Okay, Alchemist. She is in the light attributes of the Alchemist, which is transformation of base motives and goals into golden wisdom. So this is having the base motive of wanting to be with a person, be the reason why you started watching tarot readings, and then finding yourself watching tarot readings because you really want to understand the spiritual journey and your role in it much more. And it is really less and less and less about that person and more and more about how incredible this idea of liminence is with these mirror neurons we have in our brains and how we project and interpret information from others and how that creates bonds or severs them. Or she's become much more interested in learning how to manifest everything, not just a person. And she's getting all of this wisdom now that's helping her in all these areas of her life. So it starts out, she just wanted to get her pussy pounded, and ends up being like, she wants to understand like Kundalini and how it works, right? This is coming out again. This came out yesterday, and I just think it's here again to just hammer home this idea that feminine has truly surrendered her power of choice to the divine with complete trust. She's just like, I know that every decision I make has a purpose, and I surrender my choices to the divine. I allow that divine to guide me towards where I need to go, and I just trust that I'm going in the right direction. Also, my dog is from Compton, so I literally get to say she's straight out of Compton. I just remembered that. Okay. Heaven is watching over you is in reverse. So divine feminine, really anxious. Like I said, makes a lot of sense if there's a new beginning that's right on the horizon and she's feeling cautious and worried. Is it going to happen? Is it not going to happen? Heaven is watching over you. Imagine that your own child wanted to be with a person that you knew was not going to be good for them yet. Like you knew in your head, like let's say let's say your daughter comes home and she's like, oh my God, I am in love. I met the most amazing man and he's not divorced yet, but he's getting divorced. Okay. Mom's going to be like, okay, does he have children? You know, is it an amicable situation? She's going to know intuitively that that person has probably got a lot of stuff to unpack before they would truly be ready to be in a relationship. And so your mom would probably discourage you, which would piss you off and you'd have an argument. But the mom energy of knowing that something is not quite ready for your baby and knowing it's going to hurt your baby's feelings, to be like, I just think you should wait a little bit for that. That's the universe right now with you. Okay. You're a little bit like, you're terrified about this happening. It's 8:44 on the clock. And the universe is like, I know. That's why I made everything perfect. Okay. That's why I got all the pieces into place. That's why I made sure that everything would be healed and everyone would be in the right mindset. And let me tell you, darling baby child of mine, who I love more than my own body and soul, if he's not ready, you can't have him. And I just want you to know that you can relax, because even if you might be angry with me, I know that you're going to be safe and protected with this decision that you're trusting me to make for you, because you know that I can see the whole picture. Remember yesterday's analogy of The Sims? When you play The Sims and you're the person that's operating the sim, you can see the whole house, every room. You can see the neighborhood. You can see people coming over. You get messages popping up saying things are going on. You can see the thoughts they have. You can see if they have to take a piss or not, right? You know everything. You are omniscient, just like God. The sim doesn't know shit about shit. Takes 35 fucking minutes just to go to the bathroom and come out. You're like, what the fuck? Why did that take 35 minutes of your time? So heaven knows everything that's happening. So your fear and anxiety is just from this that comes up for feminine energy. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if this action is going to occur. I don't know. And the universe is like, you don't need to know. You need to relax. I've got it. Okay. I'm taking care of it for you. Imagine it's like the mafia. You don't have to worry about it. They're going to take care of it. When I lean on the faith of the universe, peace becomes real. Do you think today's message is faith? Well-being in reverse. This is where you are really not clear on this lesson, that well-being is your natural state. Your body fights to heal itself. Everybody's Wolverine. We think Wolverine's special. Wolverine's not special. I mean, I guess he has those whatever kind of metal things in his body. But other than that, he's healing. Everybody heals. He heals faster. Okay, he heals faster. Fine. Wolverine heals faster. But everybody fucking heals. If your arm's off and they reconnect it, it usually just stays reconnected and you can use it again if you have a good surgeon. Like, are you kidding me? Your natural state is well-being. And so if you can just embrace this and know that everything is directing you towards well-being, even when you're sick, when your body is sick and you're like, wow, great, I'm sick. Obviously, well-being isn't my natural state. The sickness of your body is a communication about behaviors that you are engaging in. Whether that's, I just drove a car and somebody smashed into me and my body is now in many parts, which is an obvious communication, or I've been eating something a lot that my body doesn't really feel I need or doesn't get any of nourishment from, and instead has to like work extra hard to try to process it through the body. And so eventually I start to get sick and I'm like, great, I'm sick now. And I don't know like if I'll ever be well again. Well, your body is urging you towards wellness. That's why you got sick. The sickness was for you to know that you are out of balance and you have to come back into balance, which your body is trying to do every second of the day. So embrace that. This is true in relationships as well. Well-being is the natural state. Healing is the natural state. My DM left his pattern. He was in intense and transformative until yesterday. Now he's in healing wounds. Healing is the natural state. Surrender to the divine. You got the slave card. So this coming out with is just an emphasis that you really, really are dominating in this right now. You are being very good at just being like, oh, you do it. Maybe you're nicer than that. That's how I am. I'm like, I don't fucking know. You just do it. I'm not good at this. I don't know. I'm just gonna watch a show. Okay. A personal issue reaches resolution, and this is the Cancer card. So usually I have my dog, but no, it has something to do with home, safety at home. It could be sickness, somebody getting well. There could be issues of illness coming through the feminine side here with these cards. But whatever personal issue you have, it is already reached a resolution. For me, when I get a reversal on a timing card, I usually, and it's like, this is coming, it usually means to me, it's already here. The solution that you need it's already here. We got this yesterday too. The ever unfolding rose cracked open. It's happening for you, not to you. Again, just like I said with the mom analogy. The mom analogy that's like, I don't think that's a good idea for you. That seems like she's doing something to you. She's saying you're stupid. You don't know how to live your life, and she doesn't understand, and she's always doing this. She's always trying to control me. Hello, Lena, I see you there. And it's not like that. Mom's not controlling you. Like, not in this case. She's protecting you in this case, and the protection might feel a bit confining, but it is for you. She's not doing anything to you. So the masculine, remember what was his hidden assistance? Cautious, slow-moving, strategic. You feel like that's happening to you. You're like, this bitch is being strategic to me. And like, he's doing all these things to me, but he's not coming when he says he's going to come. Well, what if he said he was going to come, and then he found out that if he came, he would be grievously diminished in some way? Whether he fears it and it actually is going to happen or actually happens is kind of irrelevant, even if that's what he's afraid of. If the masculine is afraid to come forward and doesn't come forward, then he is doing that for you, because a masculine energy that is in fear and anxiety will carry the fear and anxiety right to you. Now, there's good anxiousness. Like, you should be a little anxious before a test or a performance, right? Because that makes your adrenaline high. It makes you focused. How you doing, baby? It makes you, it prepares you to be able to perform at your best. So a little bit of anxiety, a little bit of nervousness is appropriate. But when there's so much that he can't take action, when his fears of commitment are so intense that even if he did come, he wouldn't be able to offer you any kind of commitment because he's still too terrified, would you be happy then? Now you've moved into a scenario where now he's here, you maybe get to have sexy times, but he won't commit to you now. And now all the arguments you had before are exacerbated by the fact that you're like living up in each other's grill. So if he's really too afraid to commit and he doesn't come forward, he's saving you a lot of grief. He's offering you the opportunity to call in an option that is fully ready to commit, which would be for you, right? He might not think of it that way because he might be jealous if you have another option. But his fear that won't allow him to come forward opens you up to the potential for your happiness, because he's not able to provide it. Someone else might be able to. So it's not to you, it is for you. Time for beginner mind. To get the Fool in reverse twice and then have this card, which is a porcupine, a prickly individual that is very defensive, right? Defends themselves when they're cautious about something, okay? So let's look at this. Oh no! I want to read it. I think I put it back in the box. Hang on. Okay. I like the book for this, so I want to read the messages from, and I don't get porcupine spirit very often. It's 48. Alrighty. Oh, Pegu spirit is right before it. Was it? It wasn't reversed too. All right. The protection message is: are you feeling prickly and defensive lately, and assuming you will be hurt before you have seen any sign that such a reaction is called for? You're already like, this bitch isn't coming. This bitch is not coming. I'm just gonna be laying here, not being able to sleep, and he's not gonna come. Right? You're already afraid of that. Love? She's awake. So, perhaps an old sense of guilt and shame is causing you to be cynical and wary when you are meant to be open and curious. Self-protection, Eight of Swords, is a good thing, but you may be protecting yourself from something that will not actually harm you, but instead will bring you abundance, happiness, and love. Remember your innocence, and you will see what you have been overlooking. Porcupine quills are filled with air. It's 8:55 on the clock. I don't know why I looked at it either. Allowing a porcupine to float in water. Now is a time to let your innocent nature keep you buoyant, right? What did we say was our hidden assistance? Optimism. The idea that my masculine could really be with me tomorrow is just like as overwhelming as it is that I have a dog now who's disappeared. God knows what she's doing. Bowie! What you doing? Come say hi. So yeah. This applies so much. This prickly spirit. Lower your defenses right now and allow yourself to believe and release your cynicism. This is the doorway that needs to be open for you. The Three of Cups reunion. And we already saw that for you here. How do we open this door? What is the key? There's Bowie over there. Are you going party? Good girl. Good girl, baby. Wish I could have walked her outside, but at least she made it on the pad. The key is the Queen of Swords. Using our discernment, using our having control over our thoughts so that they don't overwhelm us. In this case, she's a medium. She's channeling energy. So channeling the energy of the divine that helps to bring you a sense of faith in spirit, faith in being able to manifest something that is ethereal into the physical. All right, let's go over to Divine Masculine now. He needs to release for his sexual energy the Four of Swords. He has not allowed, this is interesting because feminine is in here. I could say, this is a card about not communicating, about not being awakened. When it's in its reverse, it's about awakening to your sexual energy. So he needs to have an awakening. He needs to have a sexual awakening. He has, I think, imprisoned his sexuality in the feminine, and I feel his access to sacred union depends upon him being able to actually express his desire and awaken to the fact that he has kept real sexual connection trapped inside of self, probably for same reasons feminine had, the fears that she has about being physical with somebody again in a sacred way. It's like he's never fully experienced that sacred aspect, and he's needing to awaken to it. And what will do that is this progression to the 5 of Swords. This is an energy of defeat, which for me is no longer fighting against, no longer keeping. I think Divine Feminine has been on a pedestal and trapped in, because the 4 of Cups is fantasy. I know this is the 4 of Swords, but I feel so strongly that he has to like let that go, that feminine isn't to be touched, or the emotional aspect of sexuality is not allowed to be present. He just needs to accept this defeat in this expression. It's kind of a complex one today. The 5 of Swords is also about, it's like being defeated by our thoughts. So it can be about not letting those thoughts about sex and sexuality defeat us. Divine Masculine, you are in the shadow attributes of the Prince, which is using power for self-aggrandizement. So you have been engaged. You right now, your fears of moving forward are present, and so you're not moving forward. But you have power over the feminine because you're offering her this potential, and it seems imminent. And so you're kind of using the landscape, the current landscape romantically, for your own self-aggrandizement. So because you're worried about how she's going to receive you, your apologies, and you have a rejection wound in there, you're trying to make yourself seem like so great so that she will accept you. But she already accepts you. So the light of this card is romantic charm and the potential for power. Ironically, you feel like you're engaging in this, you're using romantic charm, but you're using it to maintain your power over feminine, which actually decreases your power over time because of the situation we're in now, where it's like feminine is only going to linger for so long, and then she's like, I mean, okay, like he's just charming, that's it, like he's just charming. He like charmed my pants off and then doesn't even want to like go at me. So like, I mean, how long can I really be into that? So you have to come into this light and actually follow through, not just be charming just so you feel like Divine Feminine sees you in the best light possible, but actually take the power of that romance and come forward as the Prince. You are in the light attributes of the Beggar, which is good because 5 of Pentacles haunts us typically. And this says confronts empowerment at the level of physical survival and awakens the spiritual authority of humility, compassion, and self-esteem. So you're definitely no longer depending on the feminine for emotional fulfillment. You're actually feeling empowered by learning how to give yourself emotional fulfillment, and you're working on compassion and self-esteem, right? With that Mother of Cups energy. Wow, you are always getting this. Mother Teresa. Look what it says. Activist. The King of Wands in reverse. The reluctance to come forward. Mother Teresa is going to help you take action. She approached individuals on the streets that were unapproachable in her world. People that were unspeakables. You didn't go near them. You didn't touch them. And she would go right to them and minister. Regardless, she did what she was called to do. So follow your calling and allow Mother Teresa not only to support you in the feminine energy, that Mother of Cups energy, right? Look what's underneath that I picked up. The Three of Wands, patience, and pieces falling into place. Anyway, but she's there to support you in taking these steps and taking action. My happiness is a direct reflection of my level of faith in the universe. This was in reverse. Look at the faith that's coming up for you. This is about the Hierophant card being in reverse. I wonder, masculine, why you fear commitment. I guess it's just this feeling of being confined, right? Just not being able to be free. And somehow believing that being in sacred union takes your freedom away. But sacred union brings peace and freedom because you don't. I mean, it depends on I guess sacred being the key word, because union in general does not necessarily bring peace. Like many people who are unhealed go into union and betray one another. So there is a sense that you're fearing that. But true sacred union is peaceful. There's not possession involved, so there's not a sense of violation that would ensue from a betrayal because you don't possess them. The person can come and go as they please, and still you remain whole. That is the mystery of sacred union. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that you go and you're with other people and you have open relationships. You can if you want to. I feel that of all those on the journey, twins who have ascended into a place of unconditional love with no attachment and no possession definitely have the option to engage in open relationships very safely and probably in a fulfilling manner. I have no desire for that, but there are some who do desire many experiences. And so when you are in a sacred union, there is freedom to explore. There is peace that comes from that freedom. It's the opposite of what you think. You think if I'm in a union, then I'm trapped. But this isn't the type of union that you were in before. And it was never meant to feel like a trap. It was meant to feel just like a promise that you work your whole life to keep. And people are not perfect and they don't do everything perfectly. And there's a chance that you might not do this perfectly. But the state of unconditional love that is there gives you the freedom to be able to make mistakes, to be able to experience all kinds of emotions, feelings, relationships. So release this fear that this commitment will bind you, because it will bring you peace ultimately. Passion. Eat her yogurt stick. Just check. She's when they're quiet, you're like, what you doing? Passion. You have a lot of passion right now. This is the King of Wands type of an energy, or Queen of Wands type of an energy. You have all that you need to do this, to just take this action. It's there and you're ready to do it. Confidence is your key to success. Just channel me, Divine Masculine. I am extremely confident, even when I'm terrified. So just be confident. What do you have to lose? Transformation. Things are changing at a cellular level. Deep healing. So you're definitely in this time of deep healing, and you have transformed utterly. Like all the cells of your body are renewed, however many, I don't know how long it takes, but that happens all the time. Your whole self is constantly undergoing this renewal. You have renewed the wiring in your brain. The paths in your brain have changed. You've healed old wiring that didn't work for you anymore. Embrace that your experience of commitment this time is not going to feel like it did in the past. It can't. Oh, Spirit. The abundant universe will provide. Now, you had, this is really, and there was another one too. Look at that. So many. Buffalo spirit is all about just trusting in the abundance that is there. I'm going to read the message. It is the 10 card, which is number of completion. Also the Wheel of Fortune, which we got a few times. Wow. Y'all are looking at a lot of abundance. All right. Buffalo spirit comes to you now to remind you of the amazing manifesting power of gratitude and the extraordinary potential available to you when you adopt a mindset of abundance. The ancient people of the Americas saw the buffalo as a symbol of abundance because the herds roamed far and wide and provided so many gifts: the meat, the hide, the bones. The tribes who hunted the buffalo used every bit of them, wasting nothing, appreciative of the abundance. So too do you have many gifts available to you. Buffalo spirit appears to let you know that you are in a powerful time to manifest your desires, not by force or pushing, but rather by following a natural path that rises up before you, trusting that there is always plenty to go around, whether it be love, money, inspiration, or support. It's all there for you to claim. When you are grateful, you immediately align yourself with the truth that the world is rich and teeming with resources. There is always more than enough, and you are always enough. At this time, you can expect all your intentions and needs to come into a form that is right for you. Your heartfelt gratitude is making you a magnet for miracles. Buffalo Spirit's message is to remember that you co-create your reality in partnership with Spirit. So offer up your thanks and your prayers even before you see conditions you desire, not just for yourself, but for others too. Then you will quickly see the results in tangible ways. Gratitude has the magic to grow the good. So offer thanks and praise as you acknowledge all that you have and all that is possible. Love that. All right, and let's open and close the door for you. This is the door that needs to be closed. It is the 9 of Pentacles. It is single and fabulous. It is having the door open to a lot of different options. And that door is closing because you are wanting the Hierophant energy that was in your current position, so you're ready for a commitment. And the key, I just really think that my divine masculine is going to come knock on my door like this. I could be wrong. I'm not attached to it, but confidence is key. This is the Page of Pentacles. Remember, it was what we said we could do to stabilize. Make small steps. But look at this step, masculine. This is knocking on the door. This isn't sending a letter. It's not sending a text message. It's none of that. It's showing up, even if it's in a small way, with an offer, with a gift. What do I want for a gift? Honestly, I just want a dinner. Just take me out to eat. I want to go to eat. And I want to go to a spa. I am like an experiences person. You don't have to bring me stuff. If you bring me stuff, I mean, you can bring me stuff. You can bring me whatever you want. Okay, let's see. Here are the things we were in union in regards to in the relationship. We're gonna close out the reading with this energy. We've got the Poet. This is, oh, wait a minute. Did I not? Oh, I didn't do this. That's fine. Okay, Poet energy. So this expresses soul insights in symbolic language. So you've moved from a place of turning your lyric gift to a negative or destructive effect. And right now you are both very creative. You're able to express yourself. You're able to write eloquently to one another. And it can be about sharing language with each other. Wow. Mother Teresa and Mother Mary here. This is a protected union. We already saw the Heaven Watches Over You card, which had the mothering energy. We talked about the mothering energy. We saw Mother Teresa. The Divine Mother is elevated in this union because the Divine Feminine is finally starting to ascend to be on an equal footing with the masculine energy. This is also just to feel that your union is like cradled, protected in the arms of the divine. Ha! The key to prayer is to forget what I think I need. Remember the orchard? Just let the seeds grow. Forget what you think you need. Confidence. It's key. Maintain confidence. The both of you. This is Archangel Michael protecting you, bringing you, filling you with confidence. Look how freaking cute my puppy is. Ah! She's so cute. What do you need to release? That's you. You're so cute. Yeah. What do you need to release, the two of you? Well, we know. We started off the whole thing. We need to release our fears, anxieties, worries, doubts about divine masculine taking action. This is, remember, I didn't kind of set us up, but when we read the feminine side, it is the feminine side of your person. So your person is just as worried, concerned, held back by his not taking action. So not knowing how he's going to do it or when or what is what he needs to release. The divine feminine, not knowing how he's going to do it or when and what is what you need to release if you're identifying as a feminine. That's how that works. So this is true for both sides of self. Or I mean, it's true for the feminine side of self for both people that you're thinking about in this reading. So you both need to release your doubts, worries, and anxieties about the past experiences when masculine didn't take action. Because here's what's happening. Feminine is like, I don't know if he's going to come tomorrow because he didn't come last time. He didn't come the time before that. And he didn't come the time before that. And the masculine is thinking, I don't know if I should go tomorrow because I don't know if she's going to forgive me for not coming the last time or the time before that or the time before that. Do you see how that works? Okay. Keepers of the earth, you are not alone. Ancient ancestors stand beside you. So don't forget that this isn't even your show. You're just cast in a huge production that someone else is directing. And there's all these other roles that have occurred before you. And they have positioned you to enter into this union. You are not alone in this. You have free will. You can choose not to do it. You can choose not to act. That's it's not like the thing about destiny is it's there for you. You can choose to flow with it or not. It's up to you. It's inevitable that at some point in time you will alter yourself enough that you will choose your destiny. It might not be in this lifetime. You could have to come back again if your free will is really out of control. But you've got free will. That's what makes the game fun. It's like if my dog is completely obedient, when I'm trying to teach her, like when I'm trying to learn, there's no challenge there. We don't grow together. Like I'm just like, sit, she sits. I'm like, right out. I'm like, oh, okay. She already knows that. But the fact that it's a challenge for her to learn and a challenge for me to teach her is a growing and bonding experience that we're having. Her free will allows her to learn to trust me. When I'm saying, you got to come with me because there's a car coming and you can't sit in the middle of the road on your leash, she's got to trust that I know that she needs to get out of the road. And we have to learn that together. So that's the same kind of thing here. Like you can choose to do what you want to do, but eventually you'll be trained by the divine to choose the thing you actually want. Like she wants to be alive and cross the street. Are you eating my pillow? She stopped. All right. Watch and wait, y'all. I fucking hate this card. God damn it. But no, this is a good card. It's just the hangman energy. So it's about gaining perspective. This is not my seed, not my circus, not my monkeys is one of the things that's written in the message about this card. There might be some shit going down around you and you just don't get involved in it. You don't need to get involved in it. You just need to sit back, gain the perspective you need, and then you'll know which way to go. So the both of you right now, you have a lot of anxiety. You're worried about how things are going to happen. Sit back. It's not your circus. It's not your monkeys. The universe has got it taken care of. Just get the perspective you need, and you'll be able to move when the time is right. And the time is right. So you're going to get the call to move real soon. Oh my God. The final door that needs to be opened for the twins is this Seven of Swords, which is planning and strategy. This is the how. How? Okay, how are we going to do it? How? Here's the answer. The Knight of Wands. Now, this is something Divine Masculine was afraid of. But this isn't a bad card. The Knight of Wands is an individual who is passionate, sweeps someone off their feet, goes for it, just goes all in, doesn't even have the right weapon, just picks up whatever's lying on the ground and goes to slay the dragon. Like, this is like a spontaneous person that doesn't need a strategy. So instead of sitting there thinking, how, he just goes and does it. And seeing as the thing that challenged Divine Masculine in the past was not communicating, I would guess that this is communicating to the feminine. And look at what we got. We had a bunch of cards that could have come up. And the key for the masculine was to knock on the door. And then look what happens when masculine knocks on the door. Divine feminine is opening the door and she's welcoming. So go do it. You heard it here. Oh, Sunshine Spectrum. I have to get off of Tarot TikTok. It's he's coming, he's not coming, and you need to leave. Okay. Tarot TikTok is where people are discovering me a lot. And here's the thing about the algorithm, if you don't already know this. So the way that an algorithm, most of the algorithms work is they're designed to give you the things that you view the most. And so if you view messages from the Divine Masculine, then they're going to keep giving you messages that are like that. So there's this weird, like, computer generated trajectory that you're on when you're on TikTok tarot or even YouTube tarot. And so I thought about that because I recently learned about the algorithm. I learned about how it gives you readers that are going to be like the readers that you like. And, you know, it really tries to refine it. It's moving towards being an AI that is incredibly able to determine our actions, like, or what will appeal to us. But it's limited because it doesn't have clear consciousness. So it's just always following a program. So I was thinking about that. I was like, as a spiritual person, I believe that I receive messages I'm supposed to receive. So if I am continuously getting messages that are conflicting messages through this algorithm, I was like, well, does that mean that it's kind of bullshit that I'm not getting real messages, but I'm just getting this computer program? Then I thought about it and I'm like, but what are you doing? Come here. Come here. Come say hi, everybody, and stop ripping apart my couch. Okay. But I thought about it, and receiving conflicting messages actually makes a lot of sense because I feel conflicted in my experience. I feel like I don't know if I should go forward or if I should let this person go. And so I see conflicting messages. And the real message for me for that is that you are continuously going back and forth inside of yourself because you're not trusting your own inner messages. And it might be a good idea to get off of tarot TikTok. I actually only listen to about 2 readers that I love very much. I've listened to for a while. Meredithia, Crystals and Minerals, who focuses a lot on the spiritual journey. And honestly, that's kind of who I've limited to now. So I'm sort of down to just one reader. And maybe occasionally, Dr. Liv on YouTube. She's just so gentle and it's like Soul Sister. There's 3 people that I will listen to. Only one, like, pretty much every time she puts something out. And instead, I read my own cards and I do these readings and I trust my own messages. So that might be something that you want to consider for yourself as well. But thank you so much for being here with me today. And Bowie, I'm so happy to finally have a puppy. I'm trying to wrap my brain around the fact that she's only going to be small enough to hold for like another maybe month or so. And then I don't know how big she's going to be, but she's going to be big. Her paws are huge. But thanks again so much. I will see you. I'm taking tomorrow and Saturday off. I'll probably still do TikTok mini readings, but I'm just not going to do the big YouTube reading until next Monday. So I will see you again soon. Oh, and Sunday we'll be doing a live reading with Grace Strega. So you'll have the opportunity to ask us questions and we will pull cards for you at the end. You are so welcome for responding to you about the TikTok tarot. I hope that helps. And you can always send me direct messages, pearlsprayers.com. You can book readings. If you have any questions, you can send me a question in there's a Gmail address there. I respond to them as whenever I can. So please don't hesitate to just reach out and connect. And go listen to my music, Pearl in the Prayers. I put out a song in July. It's me, babe. I'm really proud of it. And I hope you like it. Share it with everybody. And I will see you again on Monday. Have the best day.